Hi lovely, you are welcome back to my channel again. This is Dotman Stitches. I want to say a big thank to all my lovers. Thanks so much. And I want to use the opportunity to say a big thank to all my subscribers. I really appreciate you people for your support and your love. For those that have not subscribed, please don't forget to subscribe. Now today we are going to learn how to make this trouser pants with top. But first I want to work on the trouser first. So this is the fabric I'm using. This is the crepe material and chalk and the scissors or this thing. So first thing to do is going to have band. So I will drop the tape 1.5 band. So I'll drop my tape like this. Then I'll mark my hip measurements. The hip measurements I'm working with is I'll drop 9 here, depending on the length. Some people are using 8, so depending on the height. But here I'm using 9. From this hip, I'll come down by 3 inches for the crush. So I mark it. To get your crush, you divide your hip measurement by 4, then you add 1.5 to it. But another method of getting that one, you can just place your tape on your waist, then make sure it's touching your seat. So that's another way to get your crush line. Then after that, I'll come down by 4 inches to get my tie. So now I'm going to underline. Now I'm working with the front side. After the front side, I will now go back to the back. So this is the waistline, and this is the hip line, and the crotch line, and the tie. Now I'll be taking the measurements here. Actually, the length of the trouser I'm working with is 40. But before you get your length, drop your 1.5 first, then go to this way I'm going to store, which is 40 here. But I'm going to add 1 inch to it for the turning allowance. So this is where we are going to stop. Now I'll be taking the measurements. So now at this point I'll be taking my measurements. My hip measurement, the hip measurement divided by 4 is 10.5. Mark it, then I add 1 inch to it. Then I'll come down to the crotch line. I will just drop exactly the measurements here. As I said earlier, that for you to get your crotch line, you can sit down on the seat and place your tape on your waist and make sure it's touching your seat. So that's the second method. So now I will now underline this close to the waistline. Now after this, I move to from your crotch line, just add 2.5 or 3 inches to it. So this is it. So now from the hip measurement now to the crotch line, then you now make a cuff line. You can make your cuff line like this. Depending on the body size, you can make it to be 3, but here I'm using 2.5. Now my tie, just divide your tie into 2. Here I'm working with 26, that is divided by 2, that is 13. Then I will add 1 inch to it to make it to be 14. Here I'll just connect this line here. When you get to the down side here, because I want to shape this I will just come in by 1.5. Then I'll go back to the waistline. The waist measurement divided by 2. So the waist measurement I'm working with here is 36 divided by 2, that is 18. 18 divided by 2, that is 9. 9. Then I will add 2 inch to it for the 1 inch to it for the seam allowance. Then now just flip it like this. To the downside here, shaping it like this. Now I'll go back to the tie side. Then I'll connect it to the downside there. For the downside, I'm using like 8 inches depending on your choice. So I'm working with the 8. Then I'll put 1 inch to it to make it to be 9 inch for the joining parts. So I will now connect my line. Yeah, I will cut out. So at this point, it's going to have 2 side pockets. So I will just come down from the waist here, just drop the 1 inch like that, and come down by 3 inches here. So these 3 inches, I will notch it for my pocket side. And also the zip is going to be at the front here. Actually, I can cut it together with the zip, so, or I can just cut it separate like this. So depending on your choice. So I'll just add it to it for the slipper turning. Now at this particular point, I'm going to place my front piece on the for the back piece. Now what I'm going to do right here, I will just come up by 2 inch in the upper side here. So you observe that our back waist is a little bit higher than the front side, so that's why I dropped these 2 inches here. So I will just connect it to the waist. It's going to join with this waistline here, and here I will come out by 2 inch for this back also. Let's go and make this so. Now this 2 inch, 1 inch we serve for the dart at the back and 1 for the joining part. So that's the 2 inches there. For the crotch line here, I will come out by 2.5 or 3 inches depending on the choice. So I have to connect it with this. Then all through here, I'll be coming out by 2 inches. So I use my ruler to connect everything. So the pocket side also here, I'm going to notch everything together after cutting it. Then before I now come back to notch that space at the back. So this is the pocket side. So from the back here, I just notch that space, just 4 inches. So now what I'm going to do here, this is the side. I will join the front, both front and front. I will join both together. So I will join it, then I will now join the back. I will join it together. So at this particular point, I want to cut the pockets. So this is the fabric. I folded this into 1, 2, so it now be 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I just place my hand like this. So I'll take the line. So I cut out the pockets like this. So I cut out the pockets. So this is the 4 piece now. So what I'm going to do right here, I've placed my zip in the front. So I'll just place the back also like this. I've joined the back side. Turn it to the wrong side like this. Then I place the front on the back. This way I now be putting my pockets. So I place the pockets, the 2 pockets. So one for the front and one for the back. So I will now stitch it on. I place the other one pocket also. So I place it like that, then I will stitch everything. So after that, I stitch it down to the downside here. So after stitching it, before I will now fold the downside, I will now stitch this side. Then this is also the band. I cut out the waist circumference. So I just add some each to it for the hook and eyes or button, anyone you like. So this is it. I've already placed the gum tape. So I just place my band round to the waist. So now for the band, I use cutter and inch to join this place. This is after placing the gum tape. So now I open it like this. I will be stitching it all around. Then I will now turn it like this. I use this side to close it. So I will close it like this. So I will now be stitching it like this. I'll be stitching it like that. So when I get to this end here, so I'll use it to close it like that. So then I now whip all the necessary area inside. After whipping it, so this is how our final work will look like. So let me go and stitch it first and come and show you where we now put the button or hook and eyes. Let me stitch it. Now for the top. So the length of the top is 13. Then I'll add 1 inch to it. That is 31 for the folding around. So that's the length of the top. Now to the shoulder. The shoulder measurement is 15. 15 divided by 2, that is 7.5. So I mark my 7.5. Then I come down by 1 inch for the shoulder slant. Now I slant my shoulder like this. Then I move back to the armhole, which is 8 inches. Then I come up like this. Then for the middle side, I now curve the armhole. Now the bust measurement is 40. 40 divided by 4, that is 10. Plus seam allowance, I add to it. So then the waist is 36. That is divided by 4, that is 9. Plus seam allowance also. Then I come back to the hip measurement. The hip measurement is 44. So that is divided by 4 is 11. With seam allowance 3 inches. So then for top I curve like this. For the neck, I will mark 3.5. The neck. So the neck is going to have color, as you can see on the sky. So I'll just come shape it like this, like 1 inch. Then I'll cut out the blouse. Now I'm going to use the front to cut out the back. So for the back, I just place the front on the back like this. So I'll come down by 1 inch from the shoulder. From the shoulder, come down by 1 inch. So by 1 inch, I will now cut it out. So I use the front to cut out the back like this. So from that front center, so I will now place my slit there for the zip. From the next side, this is the front and this is the back. You know, I will just come down a little bit from that front, like 1.5 inch. There's already one before, so I will now come down by 2.5 inch. Because it's going to add half color there. I'm going to add color to the front, so I will now shape it. Here I will open like 6 inch for the slits. So where I'm going to place the zip. Now this is the front here. I will cut out the facing like I used to turn it. So I now insert my zip. So now that I've placed the zip, so the next thing to do, I'll be taking the neck measurements. So I'm going to use this neck measurement to cut out the collar for the neck. I'll place my tape like this. I'll be taking it. So this is 18 inches. So I will cut out the 18 by, I will add 1 to it. That is 19, 1 inch to it. So that is 19 by 3 inches. So after cutting it like that, I fold it, which I've already done. So, and I place my gum stay. I press everything. Now what I'm going to do here right now, I just place it on the next side like this. I start from the beginning here, from the front. So I'll place it like this because it's standing collar. I'll be stitching it with 1/4 inch. I'll be stitching it all around like this till I get to the last side here. Then after this, I will now use it to turn it. I will turn it in. So let me quickly do that. For the sleeve now, the length is 8 inches. So I will add 2 inches to it for the turning. Now I will just come down by 4 inches here. For the cap line. The band measurement is 13 divided by 2, that is 6.5. Then I add 2 inches to it, that is 8.5. So I cut that straight. There are not the joining parts here. So now stitch it. So now I've turned the collar. For the inside, you use the hemi gum to gum the facing. So you just place your hemi gum and put it under here. Then use your iron to gum it. So this is it. So after this, you take your body measurements, the bust measurements divided by 2. So turn it to the negative side. Then you take your body measurements and the waist, hip. So you take everything. Then for the down, you just fold like 1 inch for down side here. You fold like 1 inch. So then you now place the sleeve that I've already cut. So join the bands, the band measurement for the sleeve. So now join the sleeve. So after joining the side. So if you find this tutorial helpful, don't forget to subscribe. Bye for now.
Oh, he plan to go. Only God fear hold me. All I need is prayer for my daddy and mommy. Lord, I start to money. Me, I go make come, I'm struggle for money. It be like God gives me warning. He don't prepare me for anything.